And number 1 is A to Z, drawn 3, Michael Hills. Number 2, Central City at 13, Bruce Raymond. That'll be on the outside. The stalls are placed stand side. Number 3 is Culture Vulture at 6, Richard Quinn. Number 4, Harvest Girl at 8, Alan Munro. Number 5, Hatoof at 12, Walter Swinburne. Number 6, Kembu at 2, Freddie Head. Number 7, Mahasin at 1, Willie Carson. Number 8, Marling at 9, Steve Cawthon. Number 9, Musicali at 4, Michael Roberts. Number 10, Nimble Deer at 14. That'll be on the wide outside, written by George Duffield. Number 11, Pearl Angel, a rank outsider for Lester Piggott, drawn 10. Number 12, Perfect Circle at 5, Ray Cochran. 13, Skimble at 11, Pat Edery. And number 14, Soiree at 7, ridden by Darrell Holland. 14 won a line-up then for this General Accident 1,000 guineas. There's going to be a parade for this race. Time to take the odds.
Musicali, the 4-to-1 favourite, back from 7-2. And Hatoof is 5-1 from 9-2. Marling 11-2 from 5-1. And Soiree 11-2 opened at 4s. A to Z is a 10-1 chance, in from 12-1. Perfect Circle on 12s. And Culture Vulture at 14s. Kembu again a 14-1 chance. Mahasin is 16-1. Skimble steady on 20s. Central City and Harvest Girl are both 40-1 from 33s. And the outsiders, Pearl Angel 100-1 and Nimble Deer at 200-1. They're all quoted for the 1,000 guineas.
The last two to go in for this Group 1 General Accident 1,000 guineas, almost an accident there. Mahasin getting very, very fractious, and she's actually done it before. The handlers know all about that. There are two of them there with her, trying to just calm her down. Willie Carson, you see, in the Hamdan Al Maktoum colours, just getting back into the plate. They, of course, have won this race for the last 2 years. Salsabil and Shadayid. Willie Carson back in the plate on this filly. Only once raced, remember, and nearest to us. But the starters, Keith Brown and Judy Grange, have all the others in, and that's it. Away they go in the 1,000 guineas. A very level break indeed. Culture Vulture is one of the first to show with the favourite Musicali, and it's Musicali taken into the lead, but passed now by Mahasin. On settling down after a furlong, Mahasin leads the Guineas field from the favourite Musicali. After them for France, up on the outside, Hatoof. Close up after these comes Soiree with Culture Vulture. Then over on the inside is A to Z. These are being followed by Kenbu, also for France, and then Central City towards the rear, the outside of Nimble Deer. The last three are Marling, Pearl Angel, and finally last of all in 14th place is Skimble. But it's Musicali after 3 furlongs leading the field still, with Mahasin very close on the inside. Culture Vulture with the white base tucked in just behind. Soiree still to the forward. On the outside comes Hatoof. They're running down towards halfway now in the 1,000 guineas, with Michael Roberts and the favourite Musicali still leading from Mahasin. Then Culture Vulture, Soiree and Hatoof, and it's over to Graham Good.
So they're well inside the last half mile, 3 furlongs to go. Mahasin the rail running a very big race. Musicali with a white face, Culture Vulture in the blue and yellow colours, Soiree with a red cap, Hatoof on the outside, Skimble under pressure, Pearl Angel and Nimble Deer. The rank outsiders are out of it. It's going to be a battle now. Marling's off the pace, Kembu the rail with a run, but it's going to be down the centre of the track. Hatoof in the light blue colours, Musicali, but Kembu has the advantage of the rail. A furlong to go, Kembu in the green colours, red cap the rail. Hatoof, France 1-2. Marling, can she use her speed now? They're inside the final furlong, and it's Kembu and Hatoof and Marling, and Perfect Circle on the outside, and Hatoof is going to land it. Hatoof beats Marling in a photo from Kembu and Perfect Circle. A big break to Culture Vulture, A to Z, and then Pearl Angel, followed home by Soiree, and the field trail back to Central City, Mahasin and Nimble Deer, who were the last 3. And so the outcome of this, the General Accident 1,000 guineas.
Prize of £92,000. Now, there was brief truce in the race. He'd won the St James's Palace at Royal Ascot. He was the favourite from Ireland. There was also the French-trained winner of our 1,000 guineas, Hatoof, and British hopes rested on Henry Cecil's filly, All at Sea, ridden by Pat Edery.
And they break away. Kitwood quite smart into his stride, but shaken through on the inside. Sharp Review set to make the pace for brief truce, and it's Sharp Review in the white cap that goes on. All at Sea following through on the inside with El Prado. Then on the out of that one in blue, Hatoof running a bit freely, and that one's tracking Kitwood as they make their first turn, and it's Sharp Review leading. Sharp Review by about a half. El Prado settled in second. Out wide third is Kitwood running the rail 4, All at Sea. Brief truce from wide in the red cap, racing 5, and these are followed by Hatoof in 6. The back marker at this stage is Shanghai, and also at the back is Take Risks, Cardoon settled nearer last and first. But it's Sharp Review leading as they continue to stretch to the first quarter mile. Sharp Review by about 2 to 3 lengths. El Prado racing on the outside of All at Sea, second and third. Kipwood on the outside of Missile, 4 and 5. Brief Truce on the outside of Cardoon, and they head down and past the halfway stage. Sharp Review still leading. El Prado the grey on the outside. Here comes All at Sea with a strong run between the pair. Missile the rail followed through by Kitwood, and these are followed through by Hatoof, but they start to make their final turn. As they do so, Sharp Review leading. Sharp Review from All at Sea in the pink cap. Racing wide, the grey is El Prado. Behind these comes Missile and Kipwood. On the wide outside, Brief Truce starts to get closer, but they're heading for home. And now it's All at Sea who lengthens and goes on from the pacemaker Sharp Review. El Prado weakening quickly, but it's All at Sea striding 2 to 3 clear. Here on the outside, Brief Truce with a strong run. Hatoof through to third now, but well inside the final furlong, driving up to the line. It's All at Sea and Patetery going for home. Brief Truce closing as the line comes. All at Sea's going to hold him at the line. All at Sea takes it from Brief Truce. Hatoof in third. 1 Al Flora is a 20 to 1 chance, and that's written by Lester Piggott. Number 2 Bob Zayo, 20 to 1 John Reed. Number 3 Environment Friend, 66 to 1 for Michael Hills. Number 4 Ezud Visor today. Bruce Raymond rides wearing a red cap, 7 to 1 the odds of reward. Number 5 is Knife Box, the man of Michael Roberts, 13 to 2 the odds there. Number 6 Mutaram, ridden by Willie Carson at 4 to 1. Number 7 Riskmaster, ridden by Wendell Woods, 100 to 1. Number 8 Hatoof, now down to 9 to 4 Walter Swinburne rides. Number 8 Hatoof. Number 9 Dernier Empereur, 13 to 2 chance, ridden by Terry Janet. Number 10 Revelation, 33 to 1 Richard Quinn. 11 Tenby, 12 to 1 today, ridden by Pat Edery. And completing the lineup, number 12 is Dancing Bloom, a 16 to 1 chance, ridden by Frankie Dettori. That's the lineup then for this Group 1 Class A Dubai Champion Stakes, the trip 1.25 miles.
Backing Champion Stakes with exactly a third of the field owned by the Maktoum family who sponsor this Group 1 race. Just getting set, and that's it, and away they go, with 2 trainers doubly represented here, John Gosden and Michael Stoughton. On breaking out of the stalls, the first to go on is Tenby. It's Tenby the early leader. Tenby on the near side, making it under Pat Edery. In close contention with him is Environment Friend the grey, and then for France Hatoof. Then over on the extreme outside comes a Knife Box. Knife Box unbeaten this year, like his stablemate Mutaram, and Knife Box the overall leader now. So they completed the first quarter of a mile, and it's Knife Box and Michael Roberts from now Dancing Bloom with her white face, and then Tenby. And the back markers, or the middle of the field at the moment, come Mutaram, the second favourite with Al Flora, and then Ezud with the visor, now the red cap. Environment Friend has dropped back a place or 2. Then the outsider Riskmaster. The back markers are Bob Zayo with last of all, after 3.5 furlongs, Revelation. So they come on down now towards the last 7 furlongs of the race, and Tenby on the near side with Knife Box still the overall leader. Knife Box in the maroon white sleeves from a Dancing Bloom with Frankie Dettori. Coming into the picture again is Tenby, the grey Environment Friend, and then Al Flora. Pretty well grouped now in this Group 1 Dubai Champion Stakes. Over to you, Graham, in the stands.
And Knife Box has made the running throughout, running the rail, and Dancing Bloom with the red cap. Ezud looks in the mood. Al Flora's getting closer. On the outside, the grey Environment Friend with a run. Hatoof is cruising with them on the outside of Tenby, and they've got just over 2 furlongs to go. And I nominate Hatoof, the light blue colours, on the wide outside of the pack, and as they come down to the 2, it's Hatoof leading from Tenby. Environment Friend, Revelations with a bit of a run. They Zood on the far side. Mutaram's getting closer, but Hatoof now commits and goes on. Hatoof clear by 2 to Ezud the far side, and then Mutaram behind these. Tenby, Dernier Empereur and Environment Friend. They've still got a furlong to go, but it's the filly Hatoof who gained her big day when winning the 1,000 guineas, and it's Hatoof clear by 4 as they race up towards the line. They're raising the roof to Hatoof. She's a long way clear. Hatoof takes it from Ezud in the mood. Shares a photo with Environment Friend second and third. These clear of Tendy, Bob Zayo, and behind these Dernier Empereur second and third. Then behind these came Riskmaster, Revelation, and the field trail back to El Flora. And so the result of this, the Dubai Champion Stakes, it's gone to horse number 8 Hatoof in the colours of Maktoum Al Maktoum. This one trained in France by Cricket Head, finished 5th, but it was Hatoof, one of only the 4 Group 1 winners in this race, that has shown her class here. She's certainly pushed the pedal inside the final furlong, and Walter Swinburne Well, he was up periscope with a whip a long way from home. He knew that he'd made the right move in choosing Hatoof. The 5-2 favourite gives her a slap down the neck. Class will prevail, and she certainly was the classy horse in the race, having been a classic winner. Indeed, at the end, yep, she's going to...
2 favourites. Second, number 4, Izoud at 8-1, and third, number 9, Dernier Empereur, 7-1, and 12 rounds.
And now she's beginning to move in without much urging at all. In the gate for the $2 million turf, and they are off. And Hatoof breaks alertly, and so did Opera House. And Weymouth Bite is coming up on through. Toward the inside, Fairy Garden is there. On the outside, Solar Splendor. And Louisor is emerging with the lead. Louisor is the leader as they round the turn. Louisor opening up by 2. Solar Splendor second. The English champion Opera House is third toward the inside. Hernando is running fourth toward the rail. BNBN up close early, running in 5th position. And then it's Hatoof and Weymouth Bite, followed by Dernier Empereur and Fairy Garden. Kodashan is lingering near the back as they continue their descent toward the main oval. Over the dirt, back to the turf. Louisor is the leader. Opera House, the English champion, right there, tucking in behind second. Solar Splendor's up close, running in third. Hernando, the French Derby winner, is tucked away neatly while saving ground in the early going. BNBN is in hand, running in 5th. Dernier Empereur on the outside, running in 6th position. Hatoof is in mid-pack, 7th. Weymouth Bite down inside 8th. Kodashan is 9th under the line the first time. Last year's Breeders' Cup turf winner, Phrase, is 10th toward the rail now. Then it's Fairy Garden, followed by Apple Tree. Sarant is at the back with intrepidity as Louisor continues to lead the way. He got a soft opening half mile of 48 and 3/5 seconds. And Pat Day is nursing the speed of Louisor on an uncontested lead. But Opera House is in close striking range second, and Solar Splendor continues to race up in close attending position third. Weymouth Bite now threading her way through between horses fourth. The NBN is a strong 5th on the outside. Hernando 6th toward the rail. Hatoof covered up in behind horses. And on the inside, it's Phrase, and he's picking up a few spots now, and he's only 5 lengths from the lead. Kodashan is still conserved as they move into the far turn. They're a half mile out now in the Breeders' Cup turf, and Louisor threatening to go wire to wire, but Kodashan is uncoiling on the outside. BNBN is moving with him, and here comes the English champ Opera House as the field turns for home. Kodashan catapulting past horses on the outside, and BNBN, those two shoulder to shoulder now as they come to the final furlong. Louisor toward the inside. Opera House is done, and Hatoof, it is BNBN running a brave race today. Kodashan lengthening his stride, and Kodashan is the victor. BNBN was second, and Louisor was third. And the cheers for the Americans here. They soundly defeat the Europeans, but the best in the world this afternoon was Kodashan.
And Kent DeSormo with his first Breeders' Cup victory as Kodashan makes it a victory for the U.S. In fact, a 1-2-3 U.S. sweep. Kodashan, BNBN, and the French import Louisor. Kodashan finally wearing down BNBN during the stretch run when it looked like BNBN might pull the upset. And what about Louisor, the early pace setter, hanging tough on the rail? Here was the decisive moment in the race. BNBN with Chris McCarron in the yellow. On the outside, Kent DeSormo in the blue with Kodashan now head and head. And in the final strides on the outside, it's Kodashan that takes the lead and wins it at the wire by a short neck.
Superbly timed. He knows this horse like the back of his hand. He has to go wide. Santa Anita turf race. You're not embarrassed to go wide. You have to get a run. If you try to get through at the rail, you won't get through. Kodashan has a habit of swinging very wide. You see the gap in between him and BNBN. Not bad riding. That's just the way Kodashan corners. He comes around like a sidecar there. And look at this for a terrific horse race. What a day's racing at Santa Anita. Racing at its very best. BNBN and Kodashan. Kodashan now right in line to be Horse of the Year thanks to this neck win here under Kent DeSormo. Another great race at Santa Anita.
Grade 1 event. The purse, $500,000. 8 of them traveling 1 mile and 3/16 on a firm turf here at this beautiful racetrack in America's heartland. Let's run down the field of 8 fillies and mares that will be seeking the lion's share of this $500,000 purse. The local favorite, Speedball Early Fire, is one of the best riders on the front end of the business, 6-1. Corizona's in from California with Gary Stevens and Dick Mandello, the trainer, at 7-2. A top-class mare from Europe, Hatoof, 3-1. Walter Swinburne from across the seas to partner Hatoof. Also user-friendly at 9-2 with Chris Anley, another European with back class. A long shot, Potre D, trained by Ron McAnally. Hero's Love with local riding hero Aaron Grider. Weekend Madness will be running late with Shane Sellers, and of course the American Eclipse award-winning mare on the grass for the last 2 years, Chris McCarron, riding flawlessly. And there is Hatoof. What company lines? Ski Paradise, Big Stone, Azoud, all the top male horses. She won a grade 2 in France in her last run. She may be the best from Europe. This is the best from the United States of America. Trained by 81-year-old Charlie Whittingham flawlessly. What an aptly named mare this is. Pick her up on the rail here in 4th. In the Beverly Hills Handicap at Hollywood Park, hopelessly trapped Corazona, who's in this field today, now angling out 4 wide with the white silks and blue. Hollywood Wildcat, a wild 3-horse finish, flawlessly would get 3rd. Corazona would win this by a neck over Hollywood Wildcat. 2 of these 3 are back today. For the call of the Beverly D, upstairs to Dave Johnson.
And what a field. Flawlessly, the last to load. All set. And they're off in the Beverly D. And One Dreamer on the inside quickly scoots to the front. Potre D in the green and white colors into the 2nd spot. Weekend Madness is racing 3rd. Here comes User Friendly, Europe's Horse of the Year in 1992, finding room and moving up into the 2nd spot. Jockey with the white cap there. Flawlessly, the great mare on the outside is racing 4th. Potre D is back into 5th. Then Corazona is 6th. And then a break of some 6 lengths back to the trailers. Hatoof and the Hero's Love is the trailer. They move around the clubhouse turn, and on the inside, One Dreamer still takes the field in front by a length and a half, and User Friendly is in the 2nd spot. Corazona at the rail with Gary Stevens racing 3rd, just 2 1/4 off the lead. Weekend Madness is 4th. On the outside, in the black cap, that's flawlessly trained by Charlie Whittingham. McCarron aboard, inching up now and taking 4th position. Weekend Madness is back into 5th. Potre D is 6th. That's Hatoof beginning to close a bit of ground, and the Hero's Love is the trailer. The half in 47-3 on this firm turf course as they go to the far turn. On the inside, it's One Dreamer leading only by 3 parts of a length, and here comes Corazona, a close-up second as flawlessly makes a bid on the inside. Now racing in 3rd position. Weekend Madness is next as User Friendly drops back, and Hatoof with Walter Swinburne looks for some racing room. They turn for home. It's One Dreamer who's led from the start, in front by a length. Corazona with the blaze face in 2nd. On the outside, flawlessly is 3rd. Hatoof is flying, and down the stretch they come. One Dreamer with early fires, flawlessly between horses. Hatoof gobbling up ground on the outside. Here comes Hatoof, and Hatoof, who was 5th in the Breeders' Cup turf last year, wins the Beverly D in 1:55-2. Far back in the early going with Walter Swinburne aboard, and with One Dreamer on the front end trying to go as far as she could, as fast as she could. It was Hatoof, the horse with the big class and the horse who had beaten the boys in Europe, coming home the winner unofficially in the Beverly D.
As we build it at the top, the best from Europe against the best from the United States of America. This is what international racing is all about, folks. Hatoof and flawlessly. 2 5-year-old mares with giant hearts dueling in a deep stretch run. And how about that One Dreamer on the lead, the gray with early fires, trying to nurse every ounce of energy, trying to take this field flagpole to finish. But flawlessly, 2nd out with McCarron furiously driving, and Swinburne 3 out from the rail with Hatoof, a 3-horse photograph. But the pictures will show that the classy Hatoof would beat flawlessly by a head. One Dreamer 3rd, and Potre D a fast-charging 4th. There she is, Hatoof, the unofficial winner. Let's go back to the spa and Chris Lincoln.
Thank you, Bob. What a way to get us started here on our Racing to the Breeders' Cup Series. Hatoof, you see there, 5th in last year's Breeders' Cup turf. We'll see here on Racing Championship Day. You can bet on that. November 5th at Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky.
A Grade 1 winner across the seas, now a Grade 1 winner here in the United States. Her name is Hatoof, and she was a thrilling winner over Flawlessly. Let's show you the prices for Hatoof. $780 to win. And the exacta combining Flawlessly and Hatoof worth $23.20 running time, 1:55 2/5. With the winning connections, my pleasure to throw it to Leslie Visser.
Number 1 is Dernier Empereur, 7-1 chance with Sylvain Guyot. Environment Friend takes part at 33-1 with Michael Roberts. The Visor Mutaram is a 6-1 chance with Willie Carson. Hatoof is the favourite, and she's a 5-4 chance with Walter Swinburne. Grand Lodge is reunited with Pat Edery at 13-2. Sacrament at 20-1 with Frankie Dettori. La Confédération, the improving filly, is ridden by Kevin Darley, who's got on so well with her. They're 7-1. Metcalf at 20-1 is ridden by Richard Hills, and there's yet no colour changes posted. 1 Mutaram 13-2. That's it. They're under orders. A breakaway for the Dubai Champion Stakes, and we had an inkling this morning that Sacrament might go out and make the running, but she isn't, and there is absolutely no pace at all. This is going to shoot sprinters, quite a slow early pace. Gradually building the tempo, Hatoof leads from Grand Lodge in second. The Grey Environment Friend showing third. Sacrament settled back behind Mutaram, La Confédération, and then Dernier Empereur and Metcalf is the back marker, and she can certainly finish. But the leader, the favourite, Hatoof, on the front end, doing it all the hard way. From Grand Lodge running the rail, the apricot colours, taking a very keen hold is Mutaram, and they're certainly getting a little bit quicker as they go 38 miles an hour through the first quarter mile. Metcalf still the back marker, with the exception of Grand Lodge, who's ploughing a lone furrow down the stand side rail, and has come through to share the lead now with Hatoof. Just edging into the lead, shading Hatoof, is Grand Lodge, the St James Palace winner. So we have Grand Lodge just leading from Hatoof, Environment Friend wide of La Confédération, then comes Mutaram, followed through by Sacrament, who's just in behind the leaders, and they come down past the halfway stage, just over 4.5 to go, and Grand Lodge and Pat Edery skip a length and a half for the good over Hatoof. La Confédération is in the horse with the noseband running the rail. Environment Friend, Sacrament out wide, then comes Mutaram, Black Cap, Metcalf getting closer, green colours Dernier Empereur, but they're all in a heap as they come past the 4 and race down past the 3 now, and it's still Grand Lodge that just has the edge, and this is going to get serious now. Grand Lodge runs the rails, La Confédération, Hatoof the favourite, the light blue colours, Sacrament on the outside, Metcalf whooshing through on the wide outside. They race down into the dip, but it's Grand Lodge from Hatoof. Here goes Metcalf on the outside of Sacrament. Environment Friend is last, but it's Grand Lodge under Pat Edery, a furlong to go from in second place Metcalf. Here comes Mutaram on the outside, Dernier Empereur, the favourite. Hatoof will not be winning, but Grand Lodge powerfully from the front. It's going to be a blanket finish. Dernier Empereur is flying. It's Grand Lodge, Dernier Empereur, very close that. Then behind these Kane, Mutaram in third, just ahead of Metcalf, and the field trail back to Environment Friend. Well, that's a very close call, that. A very close call for this, the Dubai Champion Stakes. Very close call between number 1, Dernier Empereur, in the green colours nearest to us, and the colours of Gary Tanaka, trained by Andre Fabre, ridden by Sylvain Guyot, just depriving Grand Lodge virtually on the line, with on the top of the picture the third horse home, Mutaram, the black cap of Metcalf, and then Hatoof, who won the race last year, no more than a length behind these leading 4. But it's Dernier Empereur who came with a very late challenge indeed to come and lift the...
She won the Irish Oaks in good fashion, but her run in the Yorkshire Oaks was disappointing, to say the least, and you'd have to wonder about at this stage of year. She certainly wouldn't want to be one of our leading hopes on form at this time.
Hatoof, Wally, I know you've news of Hatoof, haven't you? You saw that one work?
Yes, I mean, she looked very good working. I know that she won in America on the firm ground, but I would, just worry a little bit about conditions there.
Celtic Arms, the French Derby winner, who would probably be one of the outsiders, you would have thought, here, only 11th of 20 in the... Not beaten that far, in truth, by Carnegie. There's Vaudeville, ridden by Gary Stevens, one of the American runners here, unraced as a 2-year-old, that one. That's Vaudeville. And the next one that we'll see is Voloshine. Voloshine, another one of the French contenders. Third to Rain Trap, in the Rothmans International. The next runner is a particularly interesting one, though. There it is, Only Royale. John Gosden, word from Frankie is pretty promising, isn't it?
Yes, he spoke to me the other day. He was very pleased with this mare. And, you know, the way she won the Yorkshire Oaks, she was unlucky in the arc. She's coming there fresh. In my mind, she has to be our best hope in the race.
There's Tikkanen, another French runner. And the next we see, White Muzzle. Wally, are you a little surprised to see White Muzzle running here after the disappointment in the Rothmans?
Well, it's most certainly as regards that, but I can tell you the work watchers think this horse has been going particularly well, and I spoke to John Reid on Wednesday. He said it was very interesting. The horse was going on the right leg round the fence, and he's quite confident you're going to get a good race out of White Muzzle this evening.
Well, there's Hernando as well, another one of the French runners that they think will go particularly well. And I suppose, John, Paradise Creek, this is the one to beat, really, isn't it? Will Paradise Creek stay, is the question.
Well, look, he's a great, big, huge, plain horse, wonderful character. He won the Arlington Million and the Washington, D.C. International in devastating style, but mile and a quarter. This is the first time he's ever tried a mile and a half. To do it in the Breeders' Cup is a tough thing to do, but if he stays, he wins. If he doesn't, then I'd be looking towards something like Only Royale.
23 runs without ever going a mile and a half. Here's Ian with the betting.
Fascinating thing, Paradise Creek 5-4 in this country. It was a bit shorter with some firms. A shade more than that at Churchill Downs at the moment, about 8-5, but 5-4-ish in this country. 6-1 Hernando, 9's Hatoof, 10-1 Only Royale and Tikkanen, 12 Vaudeville. They go 16-1 White Muzzle. Bit disappointing lately, it would have to be said. Also 16's Rain Trap, 22 Frères, 25-1 Bolas and Intrepidity, 33 Voloshin, and 50-1 Dahlia's Dreamer and Celtic Arms.
National, given too much to do, we assume, in the arc when finishing 6th to Carnegie. There's Celtic Arms going in as well now. Bit disappointing in the arc, but only beaten 4 lengths or so in the end by Carnegie. Vaudeville, one of the American horses there, only run 6 times in total, so relatively inexperienced. Dead heated with Overbury in the American Derby at Arlington. And Volonshine going in 40-1. Good value of the European horses over there, no question about that whatever. Dahlia's Dreamer goes in, and Bolas going in as well. Bolas just causing 1 or 2 problems. Barry Hill's Hope, Irish St. Ledger winner, of course, Cheshire Oaks winner, the Ribblesdale winner as well, but then disappointing for the Yorkshire Oaks, just 5th of 7, sweated up on that occasion, went too freely to post, and doesn't look to be enjoying things too much at present either at the moment, but has gone in. Here's our commentator, Tom Durkin.
Vaudeville comes out quickly, and Bolas is out there to flash her speed and establish the early lead, or rather make that Dahlia's Dreamer. Bolas moving on the outside now to be 2nd. Vaudeville is in between horses, running 3rd in the early going. Celtic Arms had to check, and check hard indeed did Celtic Arms. And then it's Paradise Creek, who's up close to the pace on the outside now, edging into 4th position. In between horses, it's a Rain Trap now running in 5th. Then toward the inside, Voloshin is 6th in the early going. Fraze is now running in 7th. He's about 7 lengths from the early front runners. Only Royale is in between horses, running in 8th position. Celtic Arms has a ground-saving trip so far. And then it's White Muzzle, who's drafting in behind horses in the early going. Near the back of the pack are Intrepidity. Hernando is now running 12th of 14. Hatoof is 13th. And Tikkanen has the last spot as they move by us for the first time. Solid fractions here, 23-3 and 46-4 for the half mile. Dahlia's Dreamer is the pacemaker. And Paradise Creek is moving early now. He's edging toward the lead on the outside. Bolas is right there in between horses. And Vaudeville has had a perfect trip so far, saving ground all the way as they make their way into the backstretch. Voloshin drafting in behind horses, running in 5th. Celtic Arms is 6th toward the inside, then Only Royale. White Muzzle is now being helped along about 7 lengths from the lead. Then it's Hernando, who is yet to put in his best run as they continue their run up the backstretch. And Paradise Creek has taken the lead with less than a half mile to run. It is Paradise Creek now the leader. Vaudeville right there to challenge him with a half mile to go. Dahlia's Dreamer couldn't keep up the pace and now fades to third. Celtic Arms now toward the inside, running in fourth position. White Muzzle is in between horses. Hernando had to check as the field moved into the far turn. Hernando has lost all chance. He checked hard in behind Dahlia's Dreamer. They're rounding the far turn. Pat Day, Paradise Creek, a slim lead. Vaudeville, a stiff challenge for the would-be champion as the field turns for home. Tikkanen, who was last as they passed this for the first time, is now a hard-charging third as they come to mid-stretch. Only Royale is right there running in fourth. Paradise Creek still holding on to a short lead. One more bold challenge from Tikkanen, who surges past Paradise Creek as they come down to the line. Hatoof is coming late, 50 yards from the line. Tikkanen in front. Hatoof, Paradise Creek third today. It is Tikkanen who scores in the mile-and-a-half turf. And then Hatoof finishing second. It was close for third. Intrepidity or Paradise Creek. Tikkanen from last to first to win it here in record time. 2 minutes 26, then 2/5 seconds.